You're watching Let's Chat.
As we get closer and closer to the holidays, there are more and more people out on the roadways. What happens if you or a loved one are involved in an auto accident? Joining us with more on that is our attorney friend, Gar Massey from Massey Associates. Gary, good to see you.
Good to see you, Chip.
Like here and in person instead of on a little computer
It seems
box.
weird.
It does weird. It does seem weird. Anyway, we're glad you're here and hope you and the family had a happy Thanksgiving. Talking about insurance wrecks, insurance claims, and things of that nature. After a car wreck, should you use your own health insurance if someone else is at fault in the wreck?
You know, that's a really good question, Chip, and there's a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of, ideas that are, I just think, wrong about that. And the short answer is yes, use your health insurance. And the reason for that is your health insurance has negotiated rates with medical providers, and so they pay lower rates than what you would pay if you paid yourself or if you use car insurance. And so also people think that they can just send their medical bills to the other person's car insurance. Well, I have their insurance information, just send it to their car insurance company, and then they start getting sent to collections because those bills aren't getting paid. Because car insurance companies don't pay like health insurance do. It's a completely different system. And so if you can use your health insurance, absolutely use your health insurance.
And especially when it comes to automobile insurance, their clerks and adjusters, and I hate to paint it with a broad brush, but they're pretty much all trained to say no right off the bat.
That's right. They say no, and they only pay once. See, they settle the whole case one time, and so they use that one payment, and then you have to pay all of your medical bills yourself. Whereas, if you've used your health insurance, then your bills aren't piling up as you go.
Why is it some medical providers just flat out and out refuse to bill insurances?
Well, it's because they get more money if they can get it through car insurance coverage. And so they have these lower rates negotiated with health insurance companies, and so the provider gets less money. And so they're incentivized to not take your health insurance. But you are, if you have health insurance, you are a beneficiary of the contract that your health insurance has with the providers, and so you are entitled to that lower rate by virtue of their contract.
What about the medical insurance payments coverage that is a part of your car insurance?
Medical payments insurance is an alternative to health insurance, and in that situation, car insurance companies will pay as they receive the bills. If you have medical payments insurance, it's usually limited. Most people's policies, if they have it, are $5,000 in coverage, sometimes $10,000 in coverage. But they'll pay just whatever the billing amount is. And then they're oftentimes entitled to be reimbursed out of your settlement when it's over. And so you wind up reimbursing the car insurance company at a much higher rate than you might have to reimburse a health insurance company out of your settlement when it's said and done with the car who caused the wreck.
And yet another good reason to make sure that you get in contact with a great attorney to make sure that you don't get put into that particular stack of no, no, no.
That's right. There's all these tiny little complications and technicalities that, quite frankly, almost everybody needs help with navigating. And it saves you a lot of money to have somebody who knows what they're doing.
What about insurance companies? Do they have the right, for lack of a better word, to get money out of your settlement if they have paid medical bills?
Most of the time the answer is yes, and it's weird how much it differs from Medicare to health insurance to employer-provided health insurance to Obamacare to other types of health insurance. And so it varies with each type of health insurance. But the answer is oftentimes yes, they're entitled to be, the health insurance is entitled to be repaid from your settlement as the result of a car wreck. And so then there's a lot of issues that can come up with negotiating how much is going to be repaid and stuff like that. So there's a lot of work to be done in dealing with those kinds of situations.
All right, shifting gears here abruptly, and we've only got a few seconds left. I know right-to-work laws can be complicated, and especially if you're varying from state to state to state. You throw COVID in on top of that, it has really messed up the employment situation for a lot of employees and for a lot of employers. What's the best thing to do if you have questions pertaining to that?
Well, the thing about COVID is there are no new rules as far as the employment workplace for COVID. And so you still have Family Medical Leave Act, you have Americans with Disabilities Act, and whether or not COVID qualifies as a disability has not yet really been answered as far as I understand. But you do have rights, but there are no new rights for COVID. And so if you have a specific question, you can give us a call. We'll be happy to try to give you some advice. But it's a difficult world. We've gotten a lot of calls about it already.
I bet you have, and you're probably going to get more. Gary Massey, happy belated Thanksgiving and Merry early Christmas.
Same to you.
You get in touch with Gary and the staff at Massey and Associates. They are located on Lee Highway. Call them at 497-4529, 697-4529, 697-4529, and the website, MasseyAttorneys.com. There's a lot going on when it comes to the world of the Salvation Army and the Red Kettle Challenge. We'll fill you in next.